seconds. So that off. Alright, motherfuckers, this is Inappropreality episode 129. I am Mike Torch.
Mac Way.
Okay.
DK.
And I'm Ian Williamson.
Word. Shout out our sponsors. Shout out Terrace Tees. Shout out Haiku. Hey, 2021, we're looking for some new sponsors. We actually have some new sponsors, but we'll announce those another day. So if you guys want to sponsor, just contact anybody on the crew. Black Wall Street, that shit's crazy. Go support Tiffany, support everybody that's gonna be out there. All the vendors is gonna be out there. A lot of supporters. I will be spinning. We're gonna do a live show there. There's gonna be a bunch of craziness. What else we got?
This isn't a contract, Mac?
What was that shit? You want to talk about you last night, real quick?
Yo, shout out D Moss and MBS Malay. They had me on 90.7 last night. It was dope as hell.
This nigga sound
Definitely.
dumb tired. He sound like he's not what he's like.
It was dope as hell.
Alright.
Every Monday night, tune into that shit, no bullshit.
Our guest tonight, DK. Where you from for the people who don't know? Tell everybody what you do.
I am born and raised in Agawam, Massachusetts, but I rep Western.
Brownies!
We went to Chicopee High School, so I'm a baser technically. So I rep Western Mass more than I rep Agawam because I grew up in high school in Chicopee and went to McDuffie in Springfield. And it was in Springfield, so I haven't really been in Agawam since I was, I wasn't in Agawam for a minute, for that long, in retrospect. But I'm an artist, producer, engineer, and yeah, that's what I do. So I sing and produce and engineer myself.
I know, I was gonna say, nah, yo, he does a lot, yo.
You engineer your own
Yup,
shit?
in his own crib.
It sounds good, right? Remember? It's just a crazy.
Yeah. 85% of the stuff. This is my last album was the most stuff I didn't produce fully me ever. I think for a project.
When did you start? You self-taught?
So I know how to play guitar since I was 10, 11. Then I learned keyboard when I was producing, but I've always been able to know just based off guitar. Not I'm not crazy a pianist or anything, but I can make chords and things like that. And then play bass, all that stuff. I'm basically one of those people that can pick up an instrument over time and it be one of those things where it's I'm not advanced at it, but I'm proficient at it where I can get done. The only thing is drums because it's a different sort of instrument where you're moving your body and there's that rhythm with your body that you can't really do. But yeah, that's where I started when I was there. And then when I was 20 years old is when I first started coming out music. But I mean, my 19th birthday was when I first started to make music and stuff like that.
You're not that old.
No, I'm 24.
Word.
So we're both 24.
Word. Management right here.
Yes,
What made you decide to, or what did you see in DK to make you want to manage him?
A lot. I mean, I've known him for 10 years, so, we went to high school together.
College roommates.
Worked
as bouncers together in Amherst.
Y'all beat a bunch of people up together, huh?
Occasionally. I wouldn't say beat up, but yeah, management's been a fairly new thing with him, but I've seen the progress. We were, our rooms were right next door to each other, so I heard the beats, like you were talking about before. Some of them, not the greatest, but right now his stuff is, the growth is crazy, and he's not afraid to talk about it either, which is cool. And I think he sees the dream and he doesn't care, and I think that that's something I really respect. I see it in myself too. Something that you were talking about, the dream, seeing him bring it into reality is inspiring.
So you're not afraid to talk about it, so you know where you're at as an artist. You think you weren't as good when you first started?
Oh, ass. I was big ass. Here's the thing, I was so ass, but I had such a big platform because I was working at Monkey Bar. So everybody just fucked with me just because I was the bouncer at Monkey, and it was just I wasn't that big hardo that just stood there. I sort of danced.
Yeah, that totally wasn't us. We weren't.
He was in relationships and stuff, but I was dancing on the dance floor and being my usual giddy, talkative self and talking to whoever. But it was all in my head. It's all right, you're gonna go to work and you're gonna do your job, but let's brag about your music and stuff like that. But yeah, I was ass, but you got to be ass, I guess, at first to start off. It's you know, if you don't release any music and you don't get feedback, and if you don't release constant music, how are you supposed to improve?
Right.
Like, and it also, like, music it didn't become this thing where it's like, all right, I can really do this until probably, like, right after I graduated college, that I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this, like, serious. Like, it was more of a thing to, like, it was, like, a therapeutic thing for me. It was, like, releasing music in the world was like, all right, whatever problem I'm dealing with is gone, you know, for that said song or project, wherever it may be.
Word. Anomaly is definitely personal. I feel like you have a lot of personal songs on there.
Yeah.
You was that done on purpose? Like, or you?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Even a lot of your later projects, I hear a lot of personal stuff.
I just try to make it like personal. I want to be able to have those songs where it's like we have party songs or like things like that. But I also just like not want to lie in my lyrics. I don't want to like be this fake person. Like,
Word. So who we talking about in Anomaly? Who stole your lyrics? Who did all that?
oh God.
He's like, fuck. He's like, yeah.
For the record, I love every single person in the 4 and 3 doing.
Because it's a sanitizer. Right?
Shit about to get dirty.
Except this one person.
Yo.
Fuck
So,
with the AIDS.
Does he have curly black hair?
Call me black.
No,
Curly.
He's a white kid from Long Meadow.
I figured the whole video was all.
No. It's so I just had a wig at my disposal. I was
Just
like,
making it look like a
I was like, I can't be bald in every shot. Like I have to get some fake hair. You know, for next videos when we do, because I'm gonna obviously that video like really caught a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do more stuff like that. I'm definitely gonna have to go to the wig store to up my wig game. I can't have a fro all the time. But no, so I worked with this kid who I'm just gonna call him Coochie. I'm not gonna mention his name. Coochie. People who know who I'm talking about, know who I'm talking about.
I wasn't ready for that.
So Coochie was a rapper, was a singer, you know, whatever from Long Meadow, and I rock with him. But like, there were certain things about him where he was like,
Look at every
Lil Cooch.
rapper in Long Meadow right now.
it was like so basically this kid,
First,
you know, he was like a nice-ish kid. Like he was like, you know, he was working hard, it seemed, when we first met him. I had him on a show and everything like that. And then he went on my boy Cam Randall's beats for a song.
Shout out Cam.
Yeah, I exactly produced his project, right? So he's on the project. So I'm on Spotify and I'm looking through because they did a lot of like playlisting and stuff like that, so they had like a lot of streams, you know. So I mean, regardless, it's attention and streams. So it's like that's like my most played song as a producer at that time. So I'm looking through in his bio, and this was last year at this time when I was in Atlanta. I was looking through his bio, and this dude's in his bio writing about the fact that he won a Grammy. I'm like, he didn't win a Grammy, like, and I came at him on Twitter. Now, should I have came at him on Twitter? Maybe not, but at that same like chagrin, if he gets to a point where his songs blow up and he's got I want a Grammy in my bio and he only has a few songs out in retrospect with people, and I'm the only local producer, like he's got no YouTube beats. I'm the only producer from his area that produced for him. If somebody's like, yo, did you produce for that kid that, you know, fucking lied about the fact that he won a Grammy?
Right.
Like I'm gonna be looked at like a fucking fool. And that's not me. Like I'm not trying to like I'll look like a fool on purpose. But like I have serious intentions behind it. I'm not gonna look like someone who's like lying like that. So I called him out, and then he came at me, he's like, oh, you just trying to, he was like, fuck you, I don't know why you're coming at me. And like, he tried to like make a joke, and he was like, oh, you're trying to hit on my ex-girlfriend, which I was, because she's hot. And then,
Are you trying to come to the monkey box?
I don't care.
Some cooch from Lil Cooch.
So, Mr. Coochie came out with this song.
That's the name of the
Right?
show.
So he came out with this song, and I was like, he played it, and my boy, we were just kind of laughing at him, because it's like, he acts like he's this huge thing. Like, he has all these shows and at UMass and stuff like this, which honestly was a byproduct of because of me, because I had the connects at the shows. When I was playing at UMass, when we were in school, you know, it was because of me. Because my dad, he played at UMass every Wednesday night at this place called McMurphy's, so I knew people at the bars that knew there, so on and so forth. After playing, I was that guy to kind of get other people from Western Mass, like, that weren't at UMass to come, and Rico went to, or the kids Rico. So his name's Rico Cooch.
Rico
The
Coochie.
lyrics.
Okay, so he said.
You can tell the story.
So I was just trying to give backstory for everybody. So his name's Rico Cooch now. So now you get
Oh,
okay?
Rico Cooch.
So Rico comes out with this song and goes, "Back to You." Now I had a song that came out with this guy named Rob Tyria, who's now signed to Sony Sweden as an EDM artist. At the time we went to UMass, he actually roomed with him, or was in the same dorm as him freshman year when I transferred in sophomore year or whatever. So they knew each other prior. So we did a song or remix that was like kind of big at UMass because we worked at the nightclub, so they played every Thursday night at the nightclub. My boy's the DJ, so it was a pretty known song throughout the campus. And then I came out with this song that had a snippet. It was called "Crying in the Bathroom." It's one of my most popular songs till to this day. So he comes out with a song called "Back to You," and my song "Going Back" has "Cause I'm going back to you like I shouldn't have," and then the song in the "Crying in the Bathroom" is when you're crying in the bathroom and you want to go home. 3 to 4 weeks after I roast him for this Grammy post, he comes out with a song and it goes, "Promise that I'm never going back to you. Remember when you were crying in the bathroom." Those are his first 2 lines.
Oh, stealing us.
Yeah.
What makes it worse is the fact that song actually got somewhat of traction on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Lil Coochie. Lil Coochie started buzzing on this shit.
So it got over 250,000 Spotify streams and like 12,000 YouTube streams. If you equate that out, that's like $1,200 to $1,500 off of what he made. I calculated it the other day because I was like, how much did he make off shit that like, it was why did you think of those 2 lyrics when you follow me, the people you follow, and those are my 2 top songs who go to the same school, So it was like, am I going to come at this kid again and be petty, or am I going to make a whole music video about it? So I made a whole music video about it. And the whole thing. So when I'm like teaching him in class, it's like, that's the whole point of that.
I get it now.
Can't copy me.
Right.
Yo.
Put the head in the copier.
Yeah. That's dope.
Fucking Rico.
And your videos also have substance that a lot of videos out here don't.
Yeah, I actually wrote and directed that entire script like by timestamp. So I basically went to the videographer, I paid him, I was like, look, I just need your space in a different setting, because like when you go to a studio, like they have like different painted walls and backgrounds and stuff like that. I was like, we need to do this here, had it by timestamp, by like literally by millisecond, how to cut the edit, because I knew exactly how I wanted it. So everything that you saw there was basically my, direction and my everything like there. Shout out to Ethan for doing that. But
That's what needs to be done. I feel like a lot out here is like, here's the money for the video, and you tell me what to do.
Nah, but see, that's different. Because he has a.
No, that's what I like.
He
I
has
like
the.
what
he has
he's
the-
doing.
understand
I'm
his
agreeing. I'm kind of poking fun at the people who pay the videographers and expect them to tell them what to do.
Word.
And then they have problems with how it came out or something like that.
Yeah, and then it'd be like,
But our thing is, as what we always tell artists, go find a creative director. But he doesn't even do that.
but he don't. He's his own.
Right.
He got it. Looks like an infomercial. I love it.
That was my favorite part. Like the infomercial.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you that, but
And so
it just looks. It looks.
And
It looks
the
good.
videos that I've come out with, they all have like from Disconnected to Living in the Past to Come On Over to Anomaly. If you go and watch those videos back, right, they're all Easter eggs of the video prior. So the guy that's in the suit in the Come On Over video after the infomercial, and that's more like laissez-faire, is the guy in the beginning of the Come On Over video. So in the Anomaly video, beginning of the Come On Over. In the Come On Over video, we're on a date at the same place that I filmed If I Lived in the Past. And then we filmed the same thing If I Lived in the Past from Disconnected, so it's all there. And there's a lot of Easter eggs actually in my music and in that stuff. I did it so that when I become this grand thing or whatever, people will be on Reddit or like the real geeks or whatever you want to call my fan base will really be in my shit and be like, oh, this song meant this, like all this stuff. Like I have a lot of like little stuff in my
Sometimes
music.
you don't be like, no, it doesn't.
No, it really like it
They
really.
be spot on.
Huh? Like
They be spot on when they be breaking down your music.
nobody breaks down my music like that. But I'm
talking
saying like
about Rico.
I'm
right
talking about
here.
I'm talking about hypothetically
Oh.
when they break down my music.
Hypo, okay.
Like I'm putting laying the.
Kind of creating a story arc.
Yeah, I'm basically creating a story arc for my future fans to go back into stuff that maybe they, it's not my best quality or whatever, but to go back and be like, okay, this is the story he's trying to tell. You know what I mean? It's like, okay,
Yeah.
this was at this point and all that.
It's dope as hell.
You were just in a movie?
Yeah, not just in a movie. I filmed it last October. I filmed it in October of 2019, and then it came out a year later. But I was just like,
Ain't that how that goes though?
huh?
Ain't that how that goes in the movie industry?
I mean, yeah, usually, but it wasn't like it's not like a 2-3 hour movie. It was like a 35-minute short story thing. But it was because of COVID and everything like that.
Word.
So like, and you have to go through the submission process when you're trying to get put.
I thought you were calling the producers lazy for a second.
No, they're not.
They
lazy
took
at
a
all.
year to put that shit out.
No, it was more so that they took a year to submit it to the right festivals and to see, because like, it's the same thing with music, right? If you submit it to someone, you want it to get it whatever level. It's like you want to get it at Sundance, and then you want to get it at Toronto and Miami and all these different places.
Damn. What was the page Anomaly was dropped on?
Say Cheese TV.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think it's dope. And I don't think artists do that often. Like instead of having your video or your music just on your own platforms, that set it on one that already has a crazy following.
Yeah, and a kid actually boys with this kid that we went to UMass with, who has like a promo account on Twitter. He's posting my video literally probably in the next tomorrow. I'm not looking at my phone during the podcast, but he's probably going to post it within the hour on something like that. So yeah, I was just trying to get it to in eyes and ears that wasn't common. You look at Say Cheese, it's a lot of similar type of videos, and then there's a big bald white dude singing and hopping with as an infomercial. So it's a different view of the typical audience.
Is acting and directing something you want to venture into more?
I mean, it's music first and then everything else second. I'm not opposed to it, but it's like right now I want to get my music dream set up because I do want to do everything else, but it's like I want music to be the number one thing first and foremost. Like I have a lot of different ventures that I could go in. I want to be that multifaceted person, but I want,
Wrestling?
I do wrestling too. I do that.
I can see it.
I train for pro wrestling. That's why the pro wrestling intro's in there. So I haven't a few weeks because COVID stuff, but yeah, that just doing that. It was just extra cardio stuff.
Yeah, I'll link with our guy BRG.
I actually met him.
Oh shit!
I'm pretty sure he showed up to the school or whatever, and I didn't even know. And then I saw you guys had a podcast with him. I was like, I think this is. But I'm not 100%.
It was one of the better podcasts this year. I had fun that day. It was funny. Is that's all part of it though? Acting, wrestling.
Yeah, and I definitely don't. People definitely want to see me.
Actual music.
Characters.
People definitely want to see me act in comedies. My mom's like, you should be in SNL, and I'm like, I don't have impressions. It's a different sort of.
I think you do.
I mean, I
think you got some impressions.
But yeah, I could.
Let's hear one.
Yo.
Okay.
I can't do impressions like that. But no, it's one of those things where it's all those stuff can come, but it's the one thing I've been working at for years is music. Obviously, if Hollywood's we want you to be in this multi-million-dollar movie, I'm obviously not gonna say no. But it's one of those things where it's I'm at a level where none of that is at that point yet, and music's got to be my number one to be able to do that because I know that that's what I'm most I guess in my bag in is as far as I know what I can do in that. It's acting stuff. It's they throw me into things and I just do okay. There's definitely probably more room for improvement. It's different acting in a video than being acting in a film because I've never really acted and had a full part in a film type of deal.
Your last Instagram post, reading the comments on the video.
That shit was
Yeah, I was dying. I was dying.
Steve
The
Wilco.
Steve Wilco shit killed me.
And that's the thing.
You might just send your picture, Steve.
I know.
That's the thing,
Where's
though.
Steve?
But that's the thing.
Inappropreality.
People think that that stuff. There's certain stuff. There was people this guy. I didn't put it in there, but someone was this guy's pushing the gay agenda. Those type of comments. I'm what are you talking about? But that's stupid.
Yeah, that's the internet though.
That's the internet. Stupid shit. But the Steve, the what do you look like comments? First off, I'm just gonna laugh it off. Secondly, I'm gonna probably put that in a music video and capitalize on it. So it's that's why I did the video. It's you can come at me and chirp me and not get me, like, no pun intended, but, like, I'm going to utilize whatever you do for my benefit. Like, I'm going to flip it into a marketing scheme. Like, that's how it's going to be.
He changed that shit.
And
the song was dope.
To touch on that, something that you asked me why, I think, I've known him 10 years, and I think the one thing that I look at him and I appreciate that I don't really have myself as much is that he can roll with anything. You know, it's in his nature, which is, I think, just another reason why he's going to grow more, because he's not afraid to, you know.
I'm not afraid to throw it at the wall, you know.
I think we can agree with that, because I think we were talking about that, right? A little bit, how we were like, yo, this guy's like we really believe in what he got going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Absolutely.
we really believe in what you got going on, facts.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I always compare, two biggest things I'm a fan of is music and comedy. I feel like comedians attack their jokes the way musicians attack a song, like how they go about writing things. And I feel like it goes hand in hand, taking punches in the same shit, and rapping the same shit, taking punches. Even as if you're gonna be a comedian, you better be able to fucking take a joke.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be rapping or doing stuff like this, you better be able to fucking take the backlash. And I think that's perfect. That you not gonna let that shit bother you, and you just use it.
Yeah. So I gotta flip it, you know what I mean? That's how you gotta do it. You gotta flip it.
You don't get no crazy comments? Nobody said no crazy on your shit?
Not recently.
I also know, like, I'm not, like, naive, you know what I mean? I do know that I'm, like, the whole span of, like, Anomaly, it's, like, because I feel like I am an anomaly. I mean, I don't know, where do you see a 6'4", 260 bald singer? You know? You don't.
Singer.
Yeah. You don't see it.
That boy can sing. Fuck singer. He can sing.
I can try. Yeah.
Talented as
I try my
fuck.
best.
I don't know, you play instruments, all that. Like, so when did your dad start? You know about all that? Like, what did your dad play?
My dad plays, like, basically everything that I play. He's in a band. He actually just got carpal tunnel surgery, so he had to get this hand and he has to get this hand next week after playing guitar for like 30 years. Yeah, it's tough. I don't like play guitar as much as he does because I was like more gotten for producing, which is a lot of guitar stuff. I could have done like the guitar stuff. I still can, but he's just more proficient at it because he just, you know, does it more for his profession, I guess. Like I try to be more multifaceted and multiple instruments rather than like really good at one. So yeah, he's been doing that probably since he was my age too. Yeah.
Yo.
What?
What's going on next
Hey,
door?
Who is in the booth? Get him out. Get him out. Yeah.
That beat is not for me.
Okay? That beat ain't for Graham either.
You're right.
Was management something you always wanted to do?
I mean, I think I just
School for?
economics. Yeah, management is definitely something that I saw myself doing. I feel like I'm capable of doing a lot of things, and I think it just went hand in hand. Every time I'm always asking him questions about producing and trying to see the process myself. It's definitely something I've always been interested in. Management was something pretty recent, and I don't know. I think I'm gonna attack it like he attacks his artistry. So it's.
He also like knows me better than like anybody. You know what I mean? Like it's like one of those things where it's like a lot of people know DK, but how many people know Dakota? It's like one of those things.
The change through the years is definitely significant.
But yeah, exactly. But
I heard the dorm room beats. Right now his beats are definitely a lot better.
Yeah, but he just knows how. He just knows how to like Ian knows me. Like he knows how I am, how to operate, how to work around me, how to separate friendship from business. Like he just knows that. He always has. So even when it's because we work. I mean, we also worked together for our entire college careers. We worked together.
Yeah.
So like we knew how to. We operated a bar for our entire time. So like
Operated in a bar.
yeah, operated in a bar. Well, I mean, I did a lot.
Not to take away from Rossif.
Not to take away from Ross if he owned the bar, but I did a lot of marketing stuff for them. But yeah, I mean, he knows he knows me, so it's like he knows me better than anyone. I don't know how many people I would like honestly trust because it's like, if I went to some random person that wanted to be my manager and be like, hey, I'm gonna be an infomercial person and shave my head on camera, and someone's gonna be like, fuck you, no,
They wouldn't get it.
they wouldn't understand.
That's dope. Yeah, that was shit. I need you to send me Doomed.
Doomed?
Yes.
I got you.
I like that a lot. Who's that on there?
So it's my boy Stereo, the King from Atlanta. So we met at a Nestle. I don't know if you guys know who Nestle is. He's a rapper out of Atlanta. He's like close with like Yachty and them. He was like one of like the four. He was like one of the first people like in the SoundCloud scene in Atlanta, and he's always been a fan. He's like, I'll have a video shoot come out to Atlanta. So I went to the middle of Atlanta and we shot this video. It's him and me and Toyo on the song. But Toyo wasn't there. He was like getting the verse. It was just like one scene. And I met this kid, and he was like very just like at the time he was just like, you know, when you see somebody that you know, when you're from, especially when you're a rapper from Atlanta and you see somebody that was like a rapper in Atlanta for like the last however many years, like just grinding in the underground, and you see him in person, you're obviously going to be like sort of like fanboy, but I had to like know that and be like, all right, I'm going to be the person that just like sits in the back, you know, look how I look and just get the attention to me rather than just bring it to myself. But we ended up talking a lot, and I was like, yeah, I really want you on my album, so he sent me a feature and like that, and I was like, boom.
Word. That's dope.
Yeah, he killed that hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is dope as fuck.
He's really underrated. He's really good, and I don't think he gets a lot of credit that he does. But he's, you know, younger. You know, I didn't get like the love I get now at 20. You know,
That was one of those. As soon as it dropped, I was like, "Ooh, what is this?"
yeah.
Do you have any favorites off the album?
Yeah, that one. Anomaly. I gotta see the list again. There's, damn, what is it?
When You Leave with Desmond and Jonas, who's that? Distance, the last one.
It was the second
You're
track. What's the
missing one
second
more.
track?
Chasing for Stars.
Yeah.
Chasing for Stars.
That's
That
the-
That's
transition
my
is
favorite one. That was
crazy.
actually
Who
just
did
telling on the way
the
here.
placement for that album? You did?
Huh?
Like
Who
the
did
order.
placement for that?
What do you mean?
How you ordered the
Oh,
songs.
I did. I scored that. So that album is scored and written as a musical. So if you guys want the actual like breakdown of how it goes, Anomaly is how I wake up in the morning, right? It's like, all right, I'm gonna wake up and feel confident.
Yo, it's crazy. I listened to this shit through 3 times, and I was like, this shit takes you through a fucking journey.
The placement is amazing.
Yeah.
The placement is
I
amazing.
mean, you also, not to cut you off, but you kind of also hear it in the background. There's like a little cutscenes, like people talking and stuff. So you it kind of stitches it together. So you know something's going on.
So Anomaly was basically made because I went through a lot, you know, starting from the beginning of music till now, and I was like really in the best. I've been in the best place of my life probably for like a good amount of time, but I'm in the best place I've been mentally, physically, emotionally in like 4 years. So I was like, all right, let's do an album where I'm looking back on all that and create a story with it. So Anomaly is like you wake up in the morning, you know, I'm like, you know, it's just like I wake up, I talk my shit, go out about my day. Boom, Chasing for Stars transitions. It's like, I'm going to keep chasing my dreams even though like most people don't want me to do it. Beat changes, then you hear the phone call. That's the storyline between me and the girl. Now the girl in the story is fictional, but all the songs are about like certain instances that happen like between multiple different relationships over the past few years.
So I was about to ask you who broke your heart.
Oh, multiple people. This is like a few. This is just like sort of encompassing that, and then the third song is sort of the interaction in the club. If you see in the bridge of it, my falsetto is the girl's voice, and my regular voice is the guy. So like on stage and like in the musical, like I'm basically gonna do like when live shows come back, it's a 30-minute set, right? But it's a 30-minute musical, so people will come back, you know, have all this thing. That's why the DKTV thing's in there. So like it's the intermission, which I'll get to in a second. So all I need is basically I'm in the club and we're having the conversation, you know, and then the fourth song, me and Stereo are like performing on stage, and I see her with another guy. There's a fight that happens. I wake up, I call Desmond. I'm like, yo, Desmond, what happened? The story of what I'm telling Desmond is the fifth song. We continue again. The sixth song, then I get interrupted at any more, being like, all right, I'm good. Seventh song, 6 into the seventh song is basically me driving to the cafe where I'm performing in front of
That whole shit is dope.
in front of the girl. Do that. Now the seventh song was written and inspired by my ex, so it was like the very last song I've ever like actually wrote about her, because like we sort of reconnected when I moved home. And another Easter egg, Anomaly, Silhouette, and Not There Yet, my first 3 albums, the 7th song on each album was about her.
The cover art and Silhouette is fire.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I fuck with that shit.
And then it's like When You Leave, it's like, you know, it's like, basically I can't, you know, it's basically like, when you leave it, you want a home. It's like, you want a home with me, but I'm not a home because I haven't really been settled down ever, you know, and I'm not going to be because I have these goals in mind. You know, it's going to take a lot for me to become settled down. It's going to be the point where it's like, all right, this music shit's not working anymore. But that's not me, you know. I'm just getting started. I'm not really like stopping anytime soon. And then distance is me leaving to the airport and sort of like, I just need some distance, you know, all the miles of money, I just need to get away. If you play the album on repeat, you hear the end of Anomaly at the last part of the song. So at the very end of distance, I go to the airport, you hear in the faint background, like pitched down all the way, is the beginning of Anomaly again. So if you loop the album, it's a story. So the whole loop of the story of the musical is a metaphor for the fact that I kept doing these things where I'd wake up, be confident about myself, go chase my dreams, get into a relationship issue, you know, get into, you know, friendships issues, all this stuff, be overbogged, be stressed, feel like I have to leave, come back, and I do it again. And I kept leaving and coming back and kept leaving and coming back.
This is
and kept
fucking
leaving
artistry.
and coming back.
This is creative. That's dope. That is really dope.
Thank you.
I fuck with that. I never had nobody come in here and say no shit like that before. That's different.
And so
you write books? You don't like you don't want to write a book? What?
I mean,
Fuck.
I don't really like.
For real.
I don't mind.
JK on Oprah's book club.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind writing a book, but I'm not really like. I just like putting my thoughts in song. Like, I don't.
You wouldn't want to help some of these artists, like direct them, like, because these motherfuckers need help. Like,
the big thing that I think a lot of people, artist-wise, have a problem with is finding it within themselves to dig to the deepest parts of their emotions and just let it all out. And I'm a very open book, and it's a blessing and a curse. But it's a blessing the fact that I'm able to like express myself in my music. But I feel like a lot of people don't want to do that because they don't want to expose themselves. I'm also not in the aspect where I don't drink, so I've never drank alcohol in my life, right? I'm never gonna like go out and be
oh
like,
damn, so you was really knocking motherfuckers out, dead sober, dead sober.
Irritated with the
yo, like you're drunk, sloppy, yo.
No, I mean nobody really. There was like when I was a sophomore, there was people that tried to fight all the time when it was rowdy. But other than that, like nobody really tried to. They'd look at me. You know, I was like, "Yo, what's good?" I'm just like trying to be mad nice to them instead of them fighting. When I worked at the bar, if you're nice to everybody, right, and you're like everybody knows you and you're friendly, no one's gonna want to fight each other because it's like, oh, I don't want to fuck over DK because he's gonna have to break it up. You know what I mean? So it just makes the whole bar a better place.
Yeah, and then you're gonna come back and people are gonna know that you caused trouble. Weird vibes.
Yeah. So yeah, I just didn't think there's a lot of artists that don't want to dig deep into themselves and sort of expose like the emotional stuff because a lot of people probably just don't want to face those problems head on in their own lives, let alone try to make it into an art where they feel they're comfortable enough to put it. You know what I mean? Like when I said like in my song Distance where it's like I just need some distance, like all the stuff, all the miles and money and being lucky, I don't know if I could do it again. Like writing that was tough for me. It was like emotional and I teared up when like that song was done because I knew the album was done. But can I say that a lot of artists can be able to do that? I don't know. I can, but I don't think, I think maybe that holds artists back. But at the same time, I don't make, rage music or, I want to make party music. I want to make fun club music, but I want to do it in my way. I don't want to do it in a way where I'm like compromising and saying things like, saying different things. And I just, that's the thing. It's like lying or like, that stuff, like, I don't want to feel uncomfortable doing. Like, that's what makes me uncomfortable. Not exposing my emotions or making it art. Just, like, that.
Bad relationships make great music.
Oh, for damn sure. Drake proved that.
I saw somebody's post. They said, Tyga and Wiz ruins tracks every single time as features every single time they get on. Do you guys have artists that you absolutely hate?
Wiz ruins trash.
He's definitely gotten on some features.
Who said Wiz ruins trash?
He definitely did some trash.
Yeah,
features.
he's
definitely
that,
done some
the Fast and Furious song.
Yeah.
Where some people is there artists that you guys hate? Like when they jump on the track, you're just like, damn, like I hate this one specific person.
YG.
Yeah.
Okay.
YG, dude.
It's horrible.
He's mad repetitive in his shit.
It's horrible. YG shouldn't be anything.
I just feel like Tyga's done a lot of songs for a lot. Like, he's not. He's good. He's very good at being one-dimensional.
Yeah. Mine is E40.
What?
Sometimes I can't stand when U40 come on the track.
No offense.
my
I said
you don't like that style of music.
Nah,
I
what?
agree.
Nah, you're right. Because I like
What?
that. I like that
Shit, I
techno.
was
I hear
down.
that shit. I mean, like, okay, something turned up.
I don't like.
He's got the craziest cadences
No
too.
bullshit.
He has a tone for me that I just can't ride. I'm just.
I like his.
But I didn't grow up.
rock
I
to
didn't.
it.
I only got into hip hop and like R&B stuff when I was like 16, 17. It was because of him. Like I was listening to like metal and
Because
like.
of him?
What you listening to?
I mean, back then, I'm a big Kendrick guy. Just like
Word.
all TDE. I was just bring up Schoolboy album because he has.
Word.
Just listen.
No, I mean TDE. I think that's who I was listening to all through high school. I used to have all their like shirts and hats and stuff like that.
Word.
Still do, but that's a little bit too big for some of the hats they shrunk.
Still waiting for Kendrick to drop. Fuck.
Him and Isaiah, I think.
I know.
But I think that whole collaboration is undefeated.
And I'm big on Baby Keem too. His
Yeah,
cousin.
Baby Keem too. He was on my Spotify's top 5 this year.
He's fine.
Mosh Pit.
Y'all think? Let me rephrase that question before. Y'all think motherfuckers are faking their stream numbers? Y'all see these people coming out.
Yeah, I think so.
Of course.
Yeah.
It happens
I've always
It happens here.
You see
That's what I'm
that?
Like
talking about.
220,000 and you got like 4 countries. Like, yeah.
But I'm always, when I look at that, I think,
Right.
to me, it's just, you're lying to yourself, if anything.
Word.
You know, if you're
Probably
buying
get, like, real
streams,
numbers of
I get it
people
for here and there,
actually
like-
listening to your shit.
I don't know. I think there's a fine line. And you probably shouldn't cross it because you're just lying to yourself at that point.
Yeah, when I saw this dude that like, I don't know. I could go on and on about that stuff. I've done it before. Like I tried doing the playlist stuff when I was new. You know, I didn't know anything about it, and I learned from somebody that was sort of more reputable around the area, and I sort of went to him and I was like, hey, like blah blah blah, like I'll go through the playlist, and it helped out a little bit, but it didn't really do much at the end of the day because it's like, okay, they saved the song, they rock with it, but it doesn't really like look great. And then it doesn't look great that I like have one song that has 30,000 from that Spotify, and then the rest of like 2,000. It's just, it doesn't really even out. Yeah, I don't really rock with that, and it's a big thing around. It's a big thing around here. Even with the kid that took my song, he put it in mad playlists like that too.
Lil Cooch.
Yeah.
Lil Coochie!
Lil Cooch. That's crazy. That's fucked up though. Like, straight robbing lyrics.
Oh, it happens.
Robbing lyrics, making money off me,
That's wild.
blocking me because I call him out on it.
And
Oh, shoot.
And got production from me.
And I produced a song for him. Beats trash. I hated the fucking song.
No Vaseline.
Hated it.
No Vaseline, G.
If you're gonna do a Western Mass family tree,
Family tree.
yep, a musical tree, a Western Mass musical tree, from your like I would say your era, who you put in on the top. I got a couple people I think, and it kind of just bleeds down.
Well, like era, I guess, like from like when I was doing music, or like when I was not.
Yeah,
doing
from
music?
when you was doing music.
So what's yours first?
I'm gonna start off with Lil Drip. Yeah, on Instagram, look him up on Instagram. He's a white kid, and everybody knows who he is. I'm gonna say SK.
Yeah, SK's definitely. SK's definitely on that.
There's one more person that I mentioned, but I can't remember right now. So I'm gonna start off with those two in terms of like what bleeds down.
I mean, if you really look at it, the two top people from Western Mass that were
I'm gonna put Dylan Reese on there too.
Dylan Reese and SK. I mean, those are the top two people that like actually did something with their lives. SK has placements, Dylan's been on multiple tours and all that stuff. But honestly, right now, it's one of those things where I feel, especially with the people that we're working with, as far as him. I don't know if you heard of Kudo. He was in Lagoon.
You showed me his project, and
So
I like.
they had a huge fan base, but before they broke up, like Lagoon did, like, their shows are crazy.
I know the group, so I'm kind of in shock. I'm just learning that.
Yeah, so they were a group. They broke up, and Kudo went solo. I produced 2 of the songs and engineered the whole project. But yeah, he is like very fire and stuff like this. It's tough to like give a family. It's tough to give a tree. I feel like Austin Fair is another person that doesn't get the credit that he's due. He keeps working hard, but if I have to say it, he loves the 4 and 3 and the rest of 4 and 3. However, I feel like the 4 and 3 stuff came when he started doing well in Boston. Like he started doing well in Boston. He's that guy that's gonna bridge the gap from Boston to Western Mass as far as like artists is. He's that guy. He's like the person because of his connections and things like that with home beats and things like that. But other than that, you know, like there's not. It's upsetting to say. I just wish there were more people putting out more content the ways that I guess I do out, because like I'm not the only person that's talented around here. You know what I mean? That I have not necessarily issues. It's like more so I want to help. It's like YouTube beats. Like I'm not a fan of YouTube beats. You know what I mean? I've never used a YouTube beat. You know, because I had producers, either me or like Bomb Up or like people that I fucked with. Like I'm not really for that. And I hear the same, you know,
You're preaching the same shit.
You know, it's like Taylor King or, you know, Cash Money AP, for the love of God. You know, you hear Cash Money AP, it's like I don't want to hear the beat again unless it's like a major, because obviously they bought the exclusive. And certain things like that, like I put out probably an average of like 17 to 18 songs out a year since 2017, 2018. Like, you know, an EP and an album a year plus like 4 singles. So people, and that's all, you know, me produced or someone else that I'm close with produced with me, or like a producer from Western Mass. So I try to keep it like homegrown. But I mean, Ishak Anor, he's like really putting a lot of work in.
I like him.
He's putting a lot of work, and he has a lot of backing behind him too. He's doing well. He's really good. Kudo is really good. Lil Step, I don't know if you guys know of him. He's a singer from Chicopee. He's like 21, so he's a little younger, but he's so fire. And I produced some stuff. He's sort of working with Kudo and Step in there. Jonas, who's on my album, he's really fucking good. Desmond, Desmond's definitely one of those people that has mad talent. And we had a conversation the other day of sort of like, you know, hey man, you gotta like not be on these YouTube beats and things like that, all that stuff. You know, really try to put in that effort. But other than that, like, there's a lot of Western Mass artists, but I can't necessarily like, put them in like a tree. And I don't want to be like, hey, like I'm one of like the top people in Western Mass right now.
No, I ain't saying it like that. I'd say like a family tree. So I'm gonna extend the branch. So from SK you have Filth Town, right? And then from Filth Town you have Joe Schmo. Then you have Reed, and then you have everybody else. And then from then you have somebody like Cam is from that tree. Can you say that right? And then Channy.
Yeah, I can.
That's what I mean. I'm not saying like a list. I'm saying like.
Channy got a viral tweet on Twitter, and then like had mad like.
We was just talking about it last night. Yeah, he did. He just went viral 2 times on Twitter.
Channy, yeah.
Yeah. It was like reposting, some guy like tried to rob the other dude, and then they actually like were friends or something, and like Channy reposted that, and it got like mad love. And then Shamrock got obviously love on that tweet with the pastor that had all that news press and stuff, and he's really, really dope too. I don't really know, that's the thing though, I don't really know like family trees like that. Like,
I made that shit up. It's still my idea.
No, I'm not gonna say your idea. It's just for me. It's like I rock with people.
Shit, I don't know enough history to put that shit.
I'm a little historian.
No, I rock with like everybody besides obviously Lil Coochie, but I rock with everybody.
Get that Lil Coochie.
Yo, you don't know Lil Cooch.
Sure don't.
Fuck that nigga Lil Cooch.
I don't know no nigga named Lil Coochie. That sound nasty, right?
But
I think she started off with those.
She a female?
SK Phil Town, I mean, those people like really were the pioneers and stuff like that. But as far as like family trees or anybody connected, it's like we all know each other, rock with each other, and support each other. I'd like to think for the most part. But like the people that are like really actually pushing and like, you know, consistently pushing, there's a lot of love between that. So I really don't know history base wise, but
yo, I'm gonna do a hot take right now.
Okay.
Hot take. And when I'm talking about the melodic rapping and shit, I might have to say DJ Official. I don't know, you guys don't know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the melodic shit, he was one of the first ones to be doing that shit out here. Whether
I don't even know. And that's the thing,
facts.
I don't even know.
But that's me, because I just know things like that, because I'm a little nerd. But yeah.
I have no idea. I feel like as far as singing goes, I'm definitely one of the few. You know, probably like 10, 15.
Like in your type of R&B, nobody fucking with you out here.
Nah, hell no.
Maybe Karina Capri.
I think they're different. I don't know. I think they're way different.
I mean, like, I don't know.
I'm also not making like Trey songs like
No, she don't do that.
LMI type R&B.
And that's why I feel like
Oh, okay.
it's kind of like y'all both made R&B albums that I resonated with.
Cool.
Her going through a heartbreak, and you, the whole thing of like living your life like in a loop. I can relate to both things. You know what I mean? Like,
So,
it's pretty dope.
Never mind, I'll save that comment for off air. I can see why you say that. Fuck. You keep mentioning Cam. I seen him perform. Well, I DJ'd at an event in Boston. I'm not sure if he told you about that. It was like last year, I think, or yeah, it was maybe right before COVID down there. And I seen him. He rocked out their yearbook and stuff like that too. What's your relationship like? How'd y'all link up?
we were close friends we just like off music. We saw each other at parties. Like back in the day, I just would like, there was like a group of kids all from Western Mass that would crash parties, you know. Any party in the area, we'd go and we'd crash back in high school and college. So that's how we met, and then sort of began a music relationship with that. We're more so, it's right now, it's more so like a friendship thing, because I'm running all cylinders with music stuff, and he's got, you know, a new, you know, switching jobs and a girlfriend and things like that, so he's not necessarily like on the same page with me music-wise, but that's fine, you know, we've talked about that and shit like that, and, you know, we did what we did, but I don't think that right now my wavelength is the same as his when it comes to music, so it's different, it's business.
All right. So the people who don't know, this podcast was supposed to happen Thursday, and I had an unfortunate incident at Mikasa. But I wrote this down, and I don't remember what I was referring to this. I'm gonna ask, what happened with No Jumper?
Oh, so I put out like a fake country song, like as a joke, because like people wouldn't think that. I was just like, it was one of those things where it was like, I was bored, I made a country song. It was when like Nas X was popping, and I made a whole music video for it, and like sent it to No Jumper, and then he put it in a No Jumper video, and like called me a fucking dickhead and douchebag and all that stuff. Like, all that. And I deleted it, and the reason I deleted it is because it was just like, it was a joke, and people were like begging me not to do it, so I did it, because like, if you think I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it, but it's like one of those things where it's a totally different genre that isn't like attributed to like what I do. It was just like, I'm not gonna keep this video up. Like I really want to keep that storyline going. It was just like one of those things that's like off kilter. We got it straight from the path just for, you know, it did well. I mean, it did well. It was whatever. It was like, I was like, you know, I'm past that. You know what I mean? But yeah, he just roasted me and he was just calling me a dickhead, and I was like, sick. That's what I did it for. I'm just gonna make fun of you, get likes off of that. You know.
Do you remember your first written?
My first what?
Written. The first rhyme you ever wrote.
First song I ever wrote was probably when I was like young, you know, 8 or 9. I don't remember. I just like used to write all the time. I mean, when you see your dad perform every day for your entire childhood, you know, you want to be just like your dad.
Word.
Right, Mike?
Yeah, he's probably a DJ now. That is no bullshit.
Yeah. I saw how he was on stage and I was like, this is dope. And then I got on stage and I'm like, yeah, this is what I was meant to do.
Yo, I want to cry. Now you're peeking. Yo, so Case it. Oh my god. My son, right? So he comes up to me, he downloaded a little beat app. He's making beats and stuff like that. He's like, Daddy, you know why I got this app? I was like, why? He's like, because I want to be just like you. I said, oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, are they trash or not?
Nah, hell no. Nope. They not. This shit is dumb funny.
Yeah, there's another kid from Longville that I actually rock with. His name's J. Russ, and his dad is a singer too from around here. But he's like, yeah, my dad tells me my music sucks all the time. My dad would never ever do that to me. Like, you just gotta be supportive of your kids, even if it's not like at like radio level quality yet when they first starting off.
I guess.
Nah, you gotta keep it 100.
No, sometimes they need. But you're 9. I mean, how old's your son?
5, 6.
Okay, your 6-year-old son's not gonna be Metro Boomin tomorrow.
Nah.
He's like, what?
What you mean? What you saying? Nah.
I'm just saying. Like, you know, it takes time.
Started young though.
Yeah, starting young, that's important.
That's dope. How the hell didn't you play football?
I was gonna
Ian, tell the story.
Freshman year football, we had this dude Neko, who's a great dude, and
You guys know Mecca Gonzalez?
Nah.
Yeah,
He
so
sounds like an Aztec.
Oh wow.
no,
Right.
His name is Mecca Gonzalez Parker.
Oh,
but yeah,
government.
So, basically, not tryouts because pretty much everyone makes the team freshman year. But you're familiar with Oklahoma drills.
Yeah.
Oklahoma drills. Deke's or Dakota, I call him Deke. I've been calling him for years, so that's where it comes from. But Deke was on the ground. Mecca was nasty. He was the best player on our team. Just absolutely rocked Dakota, and never came back.
Oh.
Damn!
And everybody makes the team.
Yeah.
You was supposed to fight. You was supposed to fight through that.
Yeah, but at the time, bro, I'm like 5'8", I'm like 5'8" in the weight I am now at the time. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Okay.
It's like I'm a big kid. I'm not.
Not running fast.
Yeah, not running fast. No, and I'm just trying new things. I just transferred from McDuffie out of Agawam, so like I was at like a very like preppy liberal arts school to then come into public school again at a different place.
You hadn't played when you were young.
And I hadn't played at all.
So I feel like in playing football, you get rocked once. It's a traumatic experience. Like, oh, and everyone's like looking at you. You're on the ground, dazed.
Yeah.
upset. I was. Yeah. It was. I mean, it was.
But his grandfather, Clemson, right?
Yeah, my grandfather was.
So you're on the right. You're
Yeah.
You
big
played
dude.
lacrosse, right?
Lacrosse. I did play. I was a
What was
goalie for Chigbee.
Duh,
Yeah,
you
they had a
fucking
lacrosse
stand in
team?
front of the goal. You're not.
He was my centerman D. So him and I were. So we really, I mean, between him and us, you know, he being the main guy in lacrosse to working at bouncers to now manager, it's like
Yeah,
we know each other well.
Yeah.
I'm beating people up on the field, at bars, after school.
No,
He's like,
my mother's the principal of the school. I'm not beating up anybody.
God. You said you teach.
The enforcer.
I do teach.
What do you teach?
I teach science.
Where?
I teach environmental science, bio, chem, and 2 algebra 1 classes at Ludlow.
Stupid.
Damn.
Yeah. So everything also to that going back to that, everything in the Anomaly video I actually do in real life. I actually either do or have done in real life. Like I'm a teacher because I'm actually a teacher. I'm shaving my
Copied
head.
your face before?
Huh?
You copied your face before?
I haven't done that. But I'm the professions that I am. You know, the salesman.
Yeah.
I sold insurance right outside of college. The talks guy or whatever. All that stuff. So like all that stuff is like, really me. It wasn't like it was playing an act, but it was real characters.
I am absolutely looking forward to seeing more from you. Like this is you can see it in your artistry, like in the videos, like you can tell like this guy put this together. All of them. This is dope. And even like you said with the project going through, I was like, this shit takes me through a fucking journey. Like it's like, yo, fucking play it back.
And putting a visual to it when shows come back is. I'm gonna try to film something so that it basically is like a Anomaly live the musical. So essentially, like the album is gonna be performed as a musical. So then when that's like filmed on YouTube or whatever, that's gonna be performed at shows. For the first however many, for a set or whatever.
All right, that's fire. Give the people your social media where they can find your music.
I'm at _D with 5 Ks at the end on Twitter and Instagram, and then you can also search DK Anomaly, which you'll find the album, and then we'll link to my artist profile where you can find everything like that. You can find me better on Apple Music than you can on Spotify. So DK, I come right up on Apple, and Spotify you have to search DK Anomaly, but other than that, that's where you can find me.
All right. Management.
Yeah. So my email is icwillmanagement@gmail.com. Yeah.
He said for booking, don't contact nobody but him.
Or anything. Don't
Yeah.
contact me for anything
Yeah.
other than him. No, you guys can.
Word. Oh yeah. Until next time, we out this up.